Does anyone else struggle to do barbell squats because like they can't get their shoulders back far enough, so it's hard to grip the bar and actually put it on their traps? The bar might seem to want to ride too high on your neck because your shoulders can't retract enough. I struggle with that. So one of the ways that I've learned to fix that is taking a decent amount of time in the beginning to loosen up my shoulders. So I do all sorts of things. First of all, you literally just want to warm them up. I like doing these, really warm up your rotator cuff, and it gets your rotator cuff used to being, like your hand used to being behind your body. So I try to, I'll hook up an elastic band to the bottom of the squat rack. I'll step out so there's a decent amount of tension on it, and so that my hand is pulled quite far back. So at the bottom of the movement, my hand is much farther behind my back. I have to pull out of that stretch, and then up top, it wants to pull it back as well and retract. And then I try to keep that, I try to keep that position of my arm behind me. It'd be better if I could get a sideways view for you guys, but my gym's not really set up for it that way. But that's one of the things that I do, and it helps a lot. So I'll just do, whatever, few sets, whatever I feel comfortable with until it feels like my shoulder's thoroughly warmed up. 9, 10. And bonus, this exercise is just good for your shoulder health anyways. So you should already be doing these standing, like banded shoulder rotations, I think. I don't know the proper name for them. Eight, 9. These are just things that I have done to get over that. Especially the older you get, the more important it is to warm up. I'll grab just a bar. Use whatever bar you can use. Use a broom handle if you have it. I just have this piece of pipe that I got from ripping apart my garage. And I only use this bar just to work on mobility. So I'll go like this. I'll get used to because when I'm squatting, I'm holding the bar like that. So I'll get used to holding it back here and then bringing it down far enough on my neck to where it's on past my neck on my traps. And I try to push out of it and then bring it down right to that spot or lower. Try to push out in a straight line and bring it back without coming down forward and coming down my neck. Try to keep that retracted position and come down on my traps. And I'll do that movement. Oh. Now, if you don't have tight shoulders, that won't even be an issue for you. But for me, that's like an actual exercise. So things like that help. Grabbing a band and just pulling it apart. Even doing some push-ups just to warm stuff up. And then I'll get under the bar, and I'll just kind of get used to position myself. Right? I might do this a couple times. Sometimes, if you have tight shoulders, you have a tight neck as well. So I'll pick it up, I'll let the weight kind of sit on my traps a little bit. If you're like me and you have really tight shoulders and neck, that first time you do that until you're warmed up and loosened up, just the weight of it being on your traps is gonna cause some pain to be in your like neck muscles. And that'll go away. You just have to go slow, right? Because if you get under the bar and you're all stiff and you're cold and you just try to rep out some or crank out some reps without being loose, you're like going to be more lean forward. That means you're going to be putting more strain on your lower back and you're just increasing the likelihood of you injuring yourself. And that's obviously not the goal of doing squats. So if you are properly loosened up, then you can get the bar where it should be. You're more comfortable like being in a straight line. And then how I do squats, so I just, I pull it off, I keep my core tight, I get into the position that I want to be in, nice and shoulder width apart. I kind of like the feet just straight forward. I used to like them a little bit open, kind of like them more nowadays straight. Felt like it was a little bit better for my knee health. And then, like I said, keep your core tight, and I always do my reps with a breath in my body, and I exhale when I'm at the top. So I go, I pick a spot on the wall up top, and I just look at it. If you're doing any exercise by yourself in your house and you have a significant amount of weight on top of you, I would just advise yourself, don't push yourself too hard. You don't want to be at risk of having an accident, so just always try to train with like, I don't know, 3 to 4 reps in reserve, or much more than that. Because it's not worth it injuring yourself. This is about being healthy and increasing our longevity, not destroying our bodies. Anyways, hope that helped. That's how I've been approaching it throughout my life as I've learned along the way. And I think just number one lesson with that is just don't be too eager to start lifting that weight. Take your time. I would honestly say it's better to get in the gym and warm up and not get injured and not get to lifting heavy weights than it is to go in the gym, not warm up, get your heavy weights lifted, but then injure yourself. So I'd rather, if I only have a certain amount of time, I'd rather come down into my gym and just get a warm up in. If that's all I can do, that's all I can do. I gotta be happy with that because it's a bigger benefit not to get injured than it is to lift the heavy weights for the day.